Welcome everyone. Thanks for watching. This is Astronaut Gaming, and we are here with the standard deck profile, my first standard deck profile. I've only done expanded so far. And we are going to be playing with my favorite deck in the standard format right now, which is Suicune with Inteleon. And we also have a small Ice Rider line here. But let's go through the deck and then we can jump ahead into some battles. But our main attacker here, Suicune V, definitely one of the strongest cards released in the new Evolving Skies set. It first has the ability Fleet-Footed. Once during your turn, if it's in the active spot, you can draw a card. Always good to get an extra card. It's not a game-breaking ability, but the attack is really strong. So Blizzard Rondo, it does 20 damage plus 20 for each benched Pokemon, and that's both yours and your opponent's. So if you have a full bench, that's 100 damage plus your 20 base. If your opponent also has a full bench, you can actually hit 220 for just 2 energy with a 2 prize Pokemon. And so when you pair that with the consistency that's offered from the Inteleon line, that Shady Dealings ability to grab any trainer card when you evolve into Drizzile, as well as the Quick Shooting to add extra damage, or the Shady Dealings on Inteleon to get more trainer cards, you are able to hit big numbers really quickly. So just going through the rest of the deck, we have a 1/1 Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX. Calyrex VMAX has Ride of the High King, does 30 more damage for each of your opponent's benched Pokemon. And then the real reason it's here is Max Lance. You can discard up to 2 energy, and it does 120 more for each energy you discarded in this way. So that is 250 damage if you discard both water energy. And the biggest difference between Calyrex and Suicune, this HP up in the top, 320 HP versus 210, definitely makes it so that opponents can't one-shot our Calyrex VMAX, and sometimes that's all we need in order to take a win. So let's go through the trainer line. So for our supporters, we are playing 2 copies of Professor's Research. We are playing 3 Marnie, 3 Melanie, and this is definitely the heart of the deck here. This is how we are going to power up Suicunes in 1 turn, helps us accelerate water energy and draw 3 cards. And keep in mind that this Melanie can be searched out with Drizzile or with this Inteleon. And our final supporter, we're playing 3 Boss's Orders. Now, we are playing 2 Path to the Peak. As we noted before, Suicune does have an ability, lets you draw cards. It's not terribly impactful, but it is helpful. But there are some decks that, if they have their abilities on their VMAXs, on their V Pokemon, it can just cause a huge issue for us. So we play those 2 Path to the Peak in order to set them down in the right situations. For our consistency cards, we're playing 4 Quick Ball to get basic Pokemon, 4 Level Ball to get our Drizziles and our Sobbles, and 3 Evolution Incense to get any of our Evolution Pokemon. Then we're also playing 2 Capacious Buckets to grab water energy, and these can be searched from the Drizzile. 1 Echoing Horn, and this is one that you won't see in too many standard decks, but I think it is really good in Suicune. You put a basic Pokemon from your opponent's discard pile onto their bench. It gives you an extra 20 damage for Suicune. It also means that if you need to KO something like a Crobat for a second time, you can Echoing Horn and then use Boss's Orders to bring it up and take 2 prizes. Then finally, we are playing 2 Scoop Up Nets and 1 Tool Scrapper. And that's our trainer line. So here are the 2 items. We're playing 1 copy of Air Balloon and 2 copies of Cape of Toughness to give you a bit of extra HP. Definitely helps to boost Suicune up to 260, because most decks have an issue hitting 260 with 1 attack, but 210's a bit more manageable. Think Zacian, which is hitting 230, or even other Suicunes, they can't knock out a 260 HP Pokemon. Then for our energy, we are playing, of course, 7 Water Energy and 2 Capture Energy. So Capture, when you attach it, you are able to search out a Pokemon and put it on your bench. And so this is really helpful to just get more Sobbles in play, more Suicunes in play early in the game, or even later in the game, because you only need one water energy to attack with Blizzard Rondo, you can attach a capture energy, get something onto your bench, and then Melanie a water and still get the attack off. So that is going to be our quick deck profile. And with that, let's get into some matches. Okay, so my opponent is going first, and we actually have a pretty decent start here. So we are going to start the Suicune. Well, do we start the Suicune? I think actually we start Sobble, and there's nothing they can use to disrupt my hand on their first turn, so I'm just going to hold the Suicune. So they're playing a Path to the Peak, Inteleon, Tool Jammer, and Horror Psychic. So this has got to be Dragapult, Inteleon. Definitely an interesting matchup. So we'll see how fast they're able to set up. I've played a good amount of Dragapult myself. I always have just run into consistency issues. Either you miss an energy or they play a Crushing Hammer or something else that does make it difficult to get all those acceleration, get your attack on turn 2. But they have the double Fog Crystal on turn 1, which is pretty strong. So on our turn, I guess I am looking to get some more Sobbles in play. Yeah, I'm going to look to get maybe a third Sobble into play. We are going to bench both of these, and then we won't play the Path to the Peak. We will just research. Let's see, we are missing one Quick Shooting. We're missing a Boss. And we have an Air Balloon, we have a Cape. Okay, so nothing too big in the prizes. So let's go ahead, bench that Sobble, Suicune, Ice Rider, Calyrex, and I think actually the safest play, if I can hit a Melanie turn 2, and I think I can, I'm going to get this Sobble going, and that way I can use Keep Calling. So let's bench the Sobble, and then I guess we will Keep Calling for our final Sobble. So presumably on my opponent's turn, they are going to be taking a knockout on this active Pokemon. If they have the VMAX and if they have the VMAX and a Zigzagoon, then they could knock out 2 Sobbles, but that still does leave us 2 Drizzles open, which is pretty good. So let's see what they have going. They hit heads on the Crushing Hammer. Not really a problem at all for us. I'd rather they use the Crushing Hammer now than later, because we do have access to Melanie now. That being said, they are probably going to Marnie, so we'll see if we're able to draw into another out to Drizzile, but if we can, then we are going to Drizzile into that Melanie, attach a water energy to our Suicune, and go from there. Okay, so far we don't have it, but neither do they. That was a horrible turn from them. So I'm going to... we have our Air Balloon on the bottom of the deck. I want to have a chance to draw into that. So I'm going to Capacious Bucket and grab 2 water. We'll attach 1 to Suicune. We're going to Tool Scrapper and then Marnie. We don't want to draw into those water energies, so now they're on the bottom and our deck is shuffled. So let's see here. We aren't going to be hitting the attack this turn, so I think we just let this Sobble go down. But what are we going to get off of this level ball? So we'll take the Drizzile. What do we want? Maybe we want more Drizziles. That could be good. Melanie, Cape. Okay, so I am going to grab the Drizzile, and I think the move right now is actually just to get another Drizzile. So we will we'll take the Evolution Incense. And that way it does open us up to a Quick Shooting next turn, which is going to be really helpful to get online as soon as possible. So we'll Drizzile, and I think we go grab ourselves the Air Balloon. Or maybe a scoop up net. No, we'll take the air balloon. We are just going to sack this prize, but that's okay. We would rather they take this knockout than move that Sobble to the bench, since I can't get an attack off anyway. So I am going to pass here, and then next turn we'll be able to use that Blizzard Rondo and hopefully get to a point where we are two-hitting this Dragapult V or V Max. They are going to have to bench more. Presumably they will get another Dragapult in play either this turn or next turn, and then we will be hitting for a good amount of damage with Suicune V. So on our next turn, we are going to fleet-footed, draw one, we'll attach that energy, and then Blizzard Rondo for a good amount of damage. I think we use the... I guess we will Quick Ball to get another Suicune. That seems right. Quick Ball for another Suicune, and then we can Marnie from there. And then the following turn, if they do manage to get a knockout on Suicune, which is definitely possible given the bench snipe, and if they have a quick shooting, that would be 130, 180, 200. We would need 210. Okay, they hit heads on the second Crushing Hammer, so that definitely changes our plan. Means that we do have to get a Melanie this turn, but that is not a problem because we have the Shady Dealings Inteleon in hand. But we will promote the Suicune. And we drew into the Melanie. Perfect. Do we want to attack with this Suicune? I think we do. 180, because they'll need 30 damage. So potentially we could... if we get the Cape of Toughness as well, that could be pretty strong. So what I'm going to do here, we will Shady Dealings. I'm going to go get the Cape of Toughness and an Incense. We will cape the active Incense into a quick shooting, and then start doing some damage with Inteleon. Okay. We will cape the active, attach another energy, fleet-footed, and I think actually it's worth holding on to these for now, just so that they don't put the extra damage here. But let's see, we're doing 4, 7, 8, so that's 160. So we are two-shotting this Dragapult, which means I'm going to go ahead and start putting my quick shootings onto... I guess we'll say the benched Dragapult V. And then let's go with the Blizzard Rondo. And if they do Marnie us this turn, puts us in a more difficult spot, but still not impossible. We ideally want to hold on to this air balloon. I think the air balloon plus the Suicune is definitely where we want to be. Okay, so they're going to hit us with the Research instead, which is good. Helps us keep our hand, and they're probably going into the quick shooting, if I had to guess. Yeah. So I think what we're hoping is that they don't hit a Tool Scrapper this turn. But they have another Crushing Hammer. Wow. Let's see if they hit heads on this one. 3 for 3 on Crushing Hammer. That is pretty rough for us, but... You know what? That is okay. We can come back from that. We've only used one Melanie so far. Where is it? Yeah, just one Melanie, and we just have other energy that we can draw into. But yeah, so they'll take a knockout on our Sobble. And Max Phantom. So now, let's see, we're at 260. Okay, so they need 70 more damage, which means that if they do get a boss, that can do it. So let's... We're definitely going to have to Marnie this turn. Let's Quick Ball a Suicune. See what's in deck. I could grab double Suicune, potentially. Suicune or Guru. You know, I think we'll take a Suicune out of the deck, and then we are looking for one of our 5 energy. We can definitely hit that. One of our 5 energy or the bucket. So let's level ball. We'll just get the Drizzile and thin it out of the deck. That way it's on the bottom rather than the top of our deck. We can bench the Suicune. Do we attach the air balloon anywhere? I think we do. I think we put the air balloon here and then Marnie. And if we draw into an energy, which we did, we are taking the knockout this turn. Perfect. And let's see, quick ball. I could go get an Oranguru. I could get another Suicune. So I'm taking the knockout this turn, which is good. I think it's worth it to burn this, go get another Suicune. And then we are going to fleet-footed. Draw one. Okay, and a Melanie for next turn if they don't Marnie us, which is pretty good. So now let's quick shooting to the bench once again, and we will hit them with the Blizzard Rondo for the knockout. And now what we are really hoping that they don't have on their turn is a Boss's Orders and an Energy. They have 4 cards to work with, and they do have, in theory, one Inteleon they could evolve into the Shady Dealings, which they do. So if I were them, I'm probably grabbing Boss and a Fog Crystal, if they have one. Tool Jammer. Oh, Tool Jammer, that works too. Okay, so they're playing Raihan. Sure. And the Tool Jammer is actually going to be pretty rough to deal with. But on our turn, so they're down to 2 prizes. What do we do here? I guess we promote the Ice Rider, because this has... Well, no, the air balloon doesn't work anymore. You're doing 130 damage somewhere. Where do I want that damage? Don't want it anywhere, really, but I think probably the best place for it is going to be on this Ice Rider. Because we could evolve into the VMAX, and then we're out of a 2-hit KO range, at least for the moment. That Tool Jammer definitely puts us in a rough spot. Is that... Yeah, they're playing 2 Jammer. Don't love that for us. Good for them. Good for them. But, okay, so we are never going to need the boss. We just want to knock out this active. They have 280 damage left. So let's start with a bucket. Go grab ourselves 2 water. What we need is this Ice Rider Calyrex. And we have no evolution incense left in the deck, so we really are just searching for the Calyrex. I'm going to go ahead and quick ball away this Inteleon. Go grab ourselves Oranguru. Helps us get 1 more draw. And then we will Melanie and attach to our Calyrex. Let's... Guess we will Primate Wisdom put a Water Energy on top, put a Marnie on top. I already used Melanie, so at this point it doesn't matter all too much. Okay, and we don't hit it. That is pretty rough. So how many Melanie are in our discard pile? 2 Melanie. We have 1 Melanie left. Well, I'm gonna attach this Capture Energy. Oh, I guess... I'll attach the Capture Energy and then go into the Oranguru. So they get 1 prize, and then I don't believe they can take a knockout, so... Okay, and then we just pass here. And if they have the boss, or if they have a way to do Let's see, 70. Okay, well played. So that's unfortunate. They hit 3 heads on Crushing Hammer, and we weren't able to get the out to the Ice Rider. Double Tool Jammer also really messed us up. So that was a close one. They definitely hit exactly what they needed, and we fell 1 or 2 cards short, but still a close match nonetheless. All right, so we're going first. Let's see if we can get a Suicune in play. Ideally, when we are going first, we get Suicune active, energy attached, and at least 2 Sobbles on the bench. That's like our perfect turn 1. So let's see what the opponent is playing. They have a Psychic deck box, so this could be Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. They could just be throwing us off. Maybe they're playing Espeon with the Eevee sleeves, but either way, we are looking for that Suicune on turn 1. And we're going to take our mulligan now. We'll see what we'll get in our next hand. Okay, so we're starting double Sobble. But we do have the Quick Ball, and we have a Capture Energy as well. So not perfect, but still pretty good. Okay, and we're up against Urshifu. Okay, so I'm going to go... man, I don't know. I guess I have to get rid of the quick shooting, but I don't like that. We'll grab ourselves a Suicune. We have the other quick shooting in deck. We have Air Balloon and how many nets? We have both of our nets. So, you know, this isn't a horrible start. We can capture energy here and go grab another Sobble. And then next turn we have lots of outs in order to get what we want, get that turn 2 attack off with Blizzard Rondo. So I think we just hold the rest of this hand. I know that they play a couple stadiums, so since we only play 2 Path to the Peak, I would rather we use this to bump their stadium rather than play it turn 1. I don't think they're playing a Crobat or anything like that, so playing that turn 1 Path to the Peak doesn't actually have that much of an impact. But let's see what they're able to get into play. So they are going to Quick Ball and get rid of a Moltres. So this could be Sylveon. Oh, it is another Sylveon. Okay. So they're going to get the Sylveon and another Pokemon in play. Let's see what they grab. But discarding the Moltres. Okay, so they're getting the Remoraid. That makes sense. They just want to get and a third Quick Ball. They want to get as many Pokemon on their bench as possible. They do play a Crobat, and they're going to bench it turn 1. Interesting. So maybe that turn 1 Path to the Peak would have been worth it in retrospect, but you know, they do play several of their stadiums that give them free retreats. So I still think it was the right play to hold on to this Path to the Peak so that we could bump their stadium. Just unfortunate how it worked out. But we are getting a new hand, getting 4 more cards, and then if we do get a Shady Dealings, we should be ready to go. So this is not ideal, but we can make this work. So I'm gonna grab 1 Water Energy. We'll attach here, retreat, and then we're gonna Melanie to the active, and I guess start with the Fleet-Footed. So that's definitely not what we want. We wanted at least 1 Drizzle in play this turn, but let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 180. So I can do 200 damage, but I'm going to be 20 short. So I think it's still worth it. They're not going to be attacking with an Urshifu this turn, probably at all this game, unless they evolve and play a Cheryl. But that would set their tempo back pretty far. So we could bench the Oranguru, but then we're left with only 2 Suicune in play. I think I am going to go with the Oranguru, and we'll go ahead and put the Marnie on top. Okay, and then we will Blizzard Rondo for 200. And now on their turn, they are going to be looking to attack with this VMAX. we have a Melanie in hand if they are able to take a knockout on our Suicune. So they get the Octillery, and how many different types do they need? So they need 5 different types to do 150, 220. So they do need one more different type of Pokemon in play. The Blaziken VMAX isn't going to do it, but you know, looks like they won't evolve that because that's a free 3 prizes for us with the water weakness. They are probably going to get the knockout this turn, but then we can just hit them back with our Melanie and Suicune, then bench our next Suicune, and hopefully through the Fleet-Footeds, through the Melanie, through the Oranguru, we can get an out to one of our Drizziles, but they're gonna escape rope. I think we just give them a Sobble. Sobble has 1 retreat, and I could always attach a Melanie. So I think this is fine. The escape rope is interesting though. I'm not sure. Oh wow, look at that. Okay, but that's for a Psychic Energy, and this is only water fighting. So they are going to take a knockout with Max Harmony. That's okay with us. We are going to promote the Suicune. And let's bench the Suicune. We'll attach here, and then we can Marnie. And so ideally, we are looking for... Okay, so we got something here. Let's start with Incense. Go grab ourselves a Drizzile. And really what we're looking for, we want... There's the tool, Cape of Toughness, to prevent the knockout since they are doing 150, 220. And then, I mean, the other thing that we're looking for is really just a quick shooting. So I'm going to start by grabbing the Cape. And then we will Drizzile a second time. And I guess we Fleet-Footed first, right? We should have done it a little bit earlier even, but that's okay. Let's Drizzile, evolve, and go grab ourselves probably an Incense. Yeah, that seems fine with me. And then, do we scrap her now? How many of these tools do they play? Probably just 2. So I am going to scrap her both of these tools away. They will probably be sad about that. And then what do we want to save for next turn? I think we save the Incense. We want that on top of our deck. Okay, and then we have a Research, which is pretty good. So let's Blizzard Rondo for 220. And then next turn, if we can get the quick shooting, we knock this out on the bench. Oh, I guess not. But we can take 3 prizes, hopefully, this coming turn. So they hit us with the Marnie, but we do have that Incense to get into either our Shady Dealings or our Quick Shooting Inteleon. And then we do have 1 energy on the bench if needed. So all right, so I believe they attached to this Sylveon this turn, which means that they are not going to be attaching to the Urshifu, which I am very glad about, because that's the one I am a little more worried about, even though it does have quite a bit of damage on there. So now we are going to, I guess we start with a Fleet-Footed. Okay, so I'm going to evolve, and then we can quick shooting once, and let's evolve again. Go get ourselves the Inteleon Shady Dealings, and we can get a Marnie. Maybe a Bucket and a Marnie. Yeah, that's fine with me. Bucket, Marnie. That way we have a Suicune guaranteed for next turn. So let's attach here. Now, do we path to the peak? I think actually we don't want to path to the peak this game. So I'm going to pick up the Shady Dealings. We'll play down Sobble and then Marnie. So we're taking 3 prizes this turn, and we just want to have that out open to be able to go grab ourselves a Drizzle next turn. So I think we want to save the research. Okay, and then we can... I mean, does it matter where we put this? I don't really think it does. So let's quick shooting the other Sylveon. And now we can Blizzard Rondo. I don't want to play the quick ball because we do have a research on top of our deck. I want to guarantee that we have a draw out next turn, especially if having such a big hand, it is fairly likely that they hit us with a Marnie. Our worst case scenario is that they hit us with a Tool Scrapper and a Boss and KO both of our Suicunes. That would leave us in a pretty bad spot. That being said, it is possible to come back from that. We would just need to hit a Melanie, or maybe just hit a Boss and bring up this Urshifu. Try and stall, maybe promote Inteleon. But they do have the Tool Scrapper. That's really unfortunate. Okay, so we will promote Oranguru. And so this turn, in order to put me in a really bad spot, they still need Boss, a double, I guess, what's it called? A Rapid Strike Energy. Boss, Rapid Strike Energy, and the VMAX. So that's 3 cards. They have a 7-card hand plus the Octillery. So definitely possible for them to hit it, but not necessarily super likely. So let's see what they can do. If they aren't able to Marnie us or get this knockout, then we do actually just have the game. We can level ball into the Drizzle, boss up this Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX, and take our last 3 prizes. So we'll see what they have going. They are going to Rapid Strike Search and go get, I assume, the VMAX or the Energy. Those were the 2. And if they evolve into the VMAX, I guess, do they just swing into the Oranguru and say, either you have it or you don't? I don't know what's in their hand, but that might actually be best. But no, they're attaching to the bench. Perfect. Okay, so that will be the win. We are going to Drizzle, just make sure the boss is in there. Perfect. So, Drizzle. Go grab boss's orders. And Blizzard Rondo. And there's our win. So that was a pretty close one. It seemed like they whiffed a couple key cards here and there, but with the consistency of our engine and our damage, we were actually able to take it home. Here's the deck one last time. I want to say thank you for sticking with me through the whole video, and I definitely encourage you to try this one out. Suicune is super powerful in standard format right now. Go ahead, leave a like below, comment if you have any questions about the deck, if you have any thoughts, or if you have a suggestion for what you want to see next on the channel. But thanks again, and I will catch you next time.